Ah, hello everyone. I'm always talking about credit. Everybody's talking about credit. Talking about debt. The problem is nobody's talking about the mindset that you have to have. The mindset, the change, the mentality. So many people have been taught to do this, to do that, but it's all wrong. Now is the time to relearn, re-educate. You know, people are talking about trade lines, people talk about secure cards, people talk about your credit, people talk about points, but they're not talking about the new mindset that you have to have in order to be successful and in order to keep your credit score up. The biggest mistake people make is overthinking. There's so many people I talk to. They say, hey, Lorenzo, I just maxed out my card. Or Lorenzo, I can pay it next week. Or I can pay it next month. That's not how the system works. The system is designed to give you points. But it's like you saying, okay, well, I'm going to go get some Popeye's chicken, but I'm going to hold off on eating it for 30 days. Like, you know it's not going to be fresh. It's not going to be what you want. It'll still be Popeye's chicken. So, today I'm going to explain a couple things that might shock you. Things that I do, methods I use to increase my points. And I'm also going to tell you how many points you receive. Let's start with collections. You have a collection. Most people's collections are high. There's some collections, you take the lowest collection you have, and guess what? You want to pay it off. Let's say you got a collection for $97. It shouldn't even be on your credit report. So guess what you want to do? You want to pay that off. Say, I want to get it off. That's going to give you 25 to 36 points. Now, let's move on to hard inquiries. You see a hard inquiry in there. What you want to do is, first you want to look through, because sometimes these bureaus, right, they make mistakes. Everybody's human. If you see something that's not yours, you want to get rid of it. You can have your credit repair specialist do it, or you can actually call them and say, now a lot of times they'll give you problems. A lot of times they'll give you the runaround, say, oh, well, it can't be disputed, or blah, blah, blah. So that's when you call your credit repair specialist, and there's forms that we use to remove it. Now, another thing you want to do, you want to make sure that when you speak to these people, you make it get straight to the point. Get straight to the point. Because a lot of them don't want to do the work. A lot of them say, oh, they're going to do it, and it's never done. This is why your credit repair specialist sends out the letter and makes sure that they send it out certified mail. Because then that gives a paper trail, basically, and when it comes back, they can't say, hey, well, we didn't take it off because this and this and this. 90% of the time, things are removed not because of they're on your report, but because it's certified. Because that means they have to do the work. They can't be lazy. They have to do the work. Now, another thing. Let's talk about multiple addresses, multiple names, which these are called red flags. So what happens is, let's say you got a score of 750 and you go for a loan. You're happy, You got good thoughts, you got a positive vibe. Hey, I'm going to get approved, but stop it right there. You're not going to be approved. I don't want to put a dent in your dream, but even with that score, I'm going to tell you why. The red flag. These are things that pop up in the system when the bank looks at that and they say, okay, well, if this person got multiple addresses, that means they're going from house to house to house to house, the property to property to property, and they're not stable. They want to see a stable person. You should always have 3 and up addresses, no more than 3 phone numbers, and 1 name, maybe 2, if you were married or whatever, and your name changed. The reason why, because it takes away from the point. There's a point system they use. And if you're under those points, your interest goes down, your success rate goes down. So you want to be sure that stuff is off, especially when you're going for a home loan. It's vital. It's vital to your success. Now, one thing we do is remove those red flags. That's the first thing we do, because that's going to hurt you with your loan. You can have a 800 credit score and it'll still hurt you. So it is very important, very important. Now, I also tell people use Experian Boost. It's going to give you from 11 to 46 points a month. That's just an add-on to what you're trying to do for yourself. So it's very important. Now, let's talk about rent. If you pay rent, right, it's vital that you want those points. Now they just changed the new law that you have to have a lease with it. I figured it was going to change it sooner or later. If you have a lease, give it to your credit repair specialist. Make sure you mail it. You cannot email it. You cannot screenshot it. It has to be mailed. Plain and simple. They're getting stricter. The credit bureaus are getting stricter on documentation, on a lot of things. Now, let's talk about the mind. Very, very important. You want to keep things at 30%. You want to keep in your mind that spend 100% cash. Credit cards. Okay. Now, let's say you're a female and you say, okay, well, I want to spend $300 shopping today, but I don't want to go over 30%. How do I do it? Number 1, have at least 2 to 3 cards. Break it down, but keep it at 30%. If you do that, your credit's still good, you're still getting points, and guess what? You feel good about yourself. You say, wow, I did it. I didn't go over. I don't have a lot of debt. This is wonderful. So, now, by you doing this, guess what? Let's say something comes up in the near future and you need a loan. Your husband comes to you or your wife comes to you and say, hey, baby, we need a $10,000 loan. But you've been doing all the things you're supposed to do. Your score's going up. You're looking good. Guess what? You have no problem. You can go to the bank and say, hey, listen, we need a loan. It's done. Credit cards aren't meant to be used to indulge, to spend a lot. I mean, if you see something nice that you want, man, go and get it. Spoil yourself. But don't go over 30%. And by doing this, you're getting points. And you're feeling good about yourself and things are looking good. So, by you keeping your score up, you want to get into the 700. You want to stay in that 700 range. Between 700 and 750. It's not hard to do. Because if you're doing everything and you're putting... Listen, and I know a lot of people have debt. Everybody got a lot of debt. So what? Everybody has debt. So what you want to do... Let's say you want to say, okay, I want to throw $10 to $20 on this bill every month. Or every couple of weeks. Guess what that's doing for you? That's getting you points. The minimum $10. If you put $10 on a bill every week, they got to give you points. That's the beauty of it. So, pay a little debt, do this, do that, keep your credit right, and guess what? You don't have to break your back. You don't have to break the bank. You know, take one step at a time. Do it smooth. You know, you don't have to stress. You don't have to, because guess what? That bill's gonna be there regardless. But guess what? By you thinking this way, your score is going up. Boom, boom, boom. You gotta realize something. You're paying your bills, your score going up. You're paying a little bit of debt, your score is going up. You're paying your car note, that's your score is going up. By you doing all these, and you're paying your credit cards, that's going up. By you doing all these, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Listen, that's 12 points. That's 12, between 12 to 24 points every week, like clockwork. So now you have a plan, but make sure you keep that thinking in mind. And I tell you this because I want everybody to know. Guess what? I want everybody to know the truth. And that's what a lot of these credit repair videos don't tell you. They're not giving you the truth. Because once you know the truth, guess what? Banks make less money. You see what I'm saying? If the bank is capitalizing on your activity, you should be able to capitalize off of it. You should be able to get scores off of it. You should be able to get points off of it. That's only fair. So, that comes the new thinking. And the crazy thing is, it was never new thinking. The thinking was always there. But as humans, we went for whatever we heard. We just said, okay, let's go swipe. You get a credit. The average person, they get a credit card in the mail, and let's say you get a $20,000 credit card, and you're smiling. You're on top of the world, and you're like, okay, I could do this, I could do that. You're planning all these beautiful and wonderful things, but stop. That's not what you're supposed to do. And that's the problem. These banks are issuing these credit, but they're not telling you, hey, well, spend carefully, do this, spend 30%, stay at 30%. They're not going to tell you that. Because the more money you spend, the more debt you have, the more money they make. And that's the truth. And if you use my method, you'll see points every week. You're not going to like it, but that's part of how things are done. So, that's just something to think about. The new way of thinking, the new way of doing things. In order for your credit to always be at 700 and up, that's the way things have to be done. If you need credit repair, you can go to www.Kirby'sCreditKingdom.yolasite.com. You can text me or call me 610-470-8992. And we can guide you to buying a house, getting a loan, getting a better car. We also educate you on different things. We show you how to get more points every week, every month. So it's a process. It's not something that's just going to be done overnight, So, thank you, and have a great day.